Hi FlossTube, it's Lorna the Ladybird Stitcher. Today is Wednesday the 31st of January 2018 and I'm here with my second half of January update. I had my hair done yesterday, so it's nice and straight. I can never get it this straight, so it'll be nice for a couple of days and then I'll have to wash it. So, I'm going to have some questions and answers today. I've got my WIPs, I have a new start, a little tiny bit of haul and books, and then right at the end, or maybe in a separate video, I'll come back with plans because I want to go through the Stitch Mania Winter Olympics Challenge and what I've got planned for that. Okay, so I'll get started with questions. The first one came from Frosty X Stitch Dawn. Hi Dawn. She said, I was wondering how you stay motivated to work so long on a HAID. I'm working on one with a lot of black and dark blue confetti in the first page, and the page of symbols isn't showing any sort of pattern that would show what I'm actually stitching. I've answered Dawn already in the comments, but I thought if anyone else had a question like this is what I do. You're going to need to find something that works for you, of course, but what I do is if I do have a lot of, say, dark blue or black or one colour, I will do one strand of that colour and then move on to a different colour and then go back and do one strand of that colour and so on. I know a lot of people use that method, so I'm not someone who came up with that method, but I think it works. It's a bit of a reward, so you'll use a strand of that colour or maybe even 6 strands of that colour, and when you've done working with that thread, you'll move on to something else, and it's like a reward for doing that. If you've got a lot of confetti and you're still not seeing any sort of picture coming through, you need to stand back and take a good look at the picture from sort of where you'd see it on a wall. While you're stitching a HAID, you're looking at it very, very closely and it's all very pixelated, and you won't see a picture coming through until you stand back and look at it. I often see the picture coming through if I get up to do something and I come back and I see it at my work, where I'm working, and it's there and I can suddenly see a picture coming through. You won't necessarily see it in the symbols of the pattern because there's so much confetti in most HAIDs, but you'll definitely see a picture coming through if you follow the pattern. So I hope that works, but you do need to find something that's going to work for you. Phyllis asked, I was curious as to what the fabric is you're doing your Summer Queen on. I think that design is looking gorgeous on that fabric. Thank you very much, Phyllis. It is on 28 count Monaco in Indian Sunset by Colour Cascade Fabrics. Okay, so first I'm going to go through my new start. I picked up the Prairie School Alphabet, and I know quite a few people are working on this one, so at least 4, I think. There's Tash, there's Jessie Marie, there's Letitia, and one other person. I can't remember who. But anyway, yeah, this has suddenly become popular again. But I've decided my initial goal for this was to do this page, the first 3, and then leave it at that for this year. But I really would like to get this done before my daughter starts school, and she will start, well, before she starts big school. She will start big school in 2020, and I really would like to finish it by the end of next year, so 2019. So to do that, I'm going to have to do at least 1 a month and a little bit more some months. So this month I have, well, I'll show you. So yeah, I've scrapped my goal of doing just the first 3 because I want to get much more than that done by the end of this year. And it took me 5 days to do A, is for anchor, and I'm now working on B's for blackbird. I have made a few changes, or not that many, but I was watching Tash the Star-Crossed Stitcher, sorry. Hi Tash, if you're watching. And she mentioned she had, as charted, the red, so this red here that the crab's in, she had it, well, they've charted it to be in the letter which looks okay on the pattern, but I know that my red won't show up in there, and Tash said hers doesn't show up very well in there as well. And so I've left it blank because I didn't think it needed anything in there. I think it looks fine with just the white showing through. So I've just left it. This, like Tash said as well, was extremely boring. But I think, and this bee wasn't that much better because this pie took forever. But it is getting a little bit better. So with bee, they've charted the pie with brown in that blue section there. But my blue is, well, it's a teal, but it looks to me like a very dark green. At least that's what it is in real life. And the brown was not going to show in that either. So I've used the same color as the highlights on the pie. I've used that to show through there. So I'm hoping to finish B by the end of today, which will be a nice sort of new start. Not a new start, but it'll be a nice clean cut for the end of the month. So yeah, the first one took 5 days, and I'm hoping that the second one will take 5 days as well, and then that will kind of lead me on to C. So I can start C next month. All right, and then I had my WIPs. The first one, not in any particular order, but the first one on the pile is Stocking Faithful Friends by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's what it will look like when it's finished. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And this is where it is now. I'm using this piece as by the numbers cell in the Full Coverage Fanatics group on Facebook. And so I did, I can't remember how many stitches I got done, but well over 1,200. The minimum is 1,200 per month. So I did the first 3 columns, and as you can see, if I can hold it properly, as you can see, the first column kind of goes in because it is going to be in the shape of a stocking. So I'm hoping to work on that again in February and do 1,200 stitches again. This piece, my goal for it was to finish the page I'm working on and the next page, and that will be the second row finished. So I'm hoping that I can do that by the end of this year. And I'm working on this one. This is being stitched on 25 count 1/1. And just to go back, the alphabet is being stitched on 28 count Monaco 1/1, and I'm putting 9 letters on each piece of fabric. And I'm hoping to fit them in an A4 frame. Well, they will fit in an A4 frame. I've measured that very carefully. So, yeah. And I'm enjoying doing 1/1 on 28 count. I don't think I'd enjoy it as much if it was completely full coverage though. I think it would be too bulky. I've never tried it, but that's kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. The next one I worked on just for a very short amount of time was Brooke's Book's Jane Austen at the Christmas Ball, which will look like that when it's finished. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. It's a very, very small amount of work on this one that I've managed. And all I did was basically some Chronic in the hair. And I can see why people don't like Chronic now. Chronic on... I've used a lot of number 4 Chronic on fabric, and that I think is fine. I've never had any problems with it. But as soon as I picked up number 8 braid Chronic through perforated paper, it started shredding and coming apart and like untangling, unraveling. And yeah, that wasn't much fun at all. So I can see why people prefer Petite Treasure braid, but I don't think Petite Treasure Braid would give the same effect because it's not as thick. I think number 8 is perfect for perforated paper, the perfect width. So yeah, so I only did a little bit of that, and that's just the top of her head on there. And my goal for this one for the year is to finish it off, so I'll need to pick up the pace on that one a little bit. I also worked on Summer Queen by Mirabilia, which will look like that when it's finished. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. Here it is now. I'm really loving her. She's being stitched on 28 count Monaco in Indian Sunset by Colour Cascade Fabrics. And a lot of people mentioned how they didn't think the pink would work, they didn't think it would work on this fabric, and I agree. I was a complete gamble working on this fabric, but I think it's really coming up really nicely, and I'm really pleased I took the plunge and used this fabric. So yeah, it is a very strong pink, but she's showing up really well on there. So yeah, my goal on that was just to finish the top part of this, so basically the head and shoulders, and I've done that already, so any more that I get done will be a bonus. But yeah, I'm enjoying working on her, and I think I'll be taking her to the retreat next week, which I'll talk a little bit about later on. The next one was Afternoon in London by Country Cottage Needleworks. Yep. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here it is now. So I just worked on this building over here. This is being stitched on 28 count Lugana in Island of Avalon by Colour Cascade Fabrics in opal. Yeah, it's opal. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this one, and my goal for this one was to finish it by the end of the year, which I think I'll manage. I think I'll manage that very soon. So that's that one. And I'm actually looking for fabric to work on the next one, which is Afternoon in Rome. So yeah, hopefully I'll have that to show you in a few weeks. And then the last one I worked on was Guardians of Notre Dame by Ingleside Imaginarium. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And sorry, that's the back. Here it is now. So that's the border halfway done without the shading in between these grey areas. So these need a gast to go in between. I haven't done all of that. I've only done a little bit around the first chimera or chimera, not sure how to pronounce that. But just so that I could get the back stitching in. And so that's the first bit there, and the second block should come out tomorrow. So I can start working on the second block tomorrow. And my goal for this one is to keep up with it every month and to have it done by the end of the year. And I'm really enjoying this one. This is being stitched on a 28 count Jobelin in a tan that I just found on eBay. I'm not sure who the company is that produced it or anything like that, but it's really nice fabric. Now, I have a little bit of haul. Today is a really nice cool day. It's about 23 degrees Celsius, which is beautiful. We've had a heat wave right up until yesterday evening, and so it's really nice today. So I thought I'd open up the doors and just have cross ventilation happening. And when I opened the front door, there was a parcel for me, so it was really nice. So I placed an order with JK's Cross Stitching Supplies here in Australia, And she's now making, or she's selling, I don't know if she makes them or if someone else is making them, but these little orc containers. So I got one, they're only $7.50. And I asked her to choose which material, and I love it. It's got a tulip on it, which I love tulips. So yeah, and that just folds flat, and again, it's going to be perfect for the retreat, so I can take that to the retreat with me next week. She also always includes a free needle minder, so there's a little pineapple in there. I'll put her details below. And then the rest of it's kind of boring. It's just Nomo thread and needle cases and some DMC. I do have the full set of DMC, but for Mirabilias I like to have their own box of thread, and this is for Autumn Queen, which I'll be starting with Belinda from Aussie Cross Stitcher on the first day of autumn, which will be the 1st of March in Australia. So I'm getting ready for that. I also placed an order for some needle minders, and these are from Needle Minder Obsession here in Australia, and I'll put her details below as well. First one is a mermaid, which I thought I could put on my emerald mermaid that I'm working on. And I also got a starfish and a little scarab beetle. And then I got my fabric of the month for December from Colour Cascade Fabrics. And this one is my favourite neutral in Colour Cascade Fabrics, and it's called Gold Digger Old Map Style. So that's it there. It's beautiful neutral mottled brown. Yeah, really, really nice. So yeah. So I don't know, I haven't actually, because I only just got the threads for Autumn Queen, I'm not sure what I'm gonna stitch her on, but this is a good contender for her. So I'll see what the threads look like on that. So that's it for haul. I'm gonna pause the video, and I will, actually I might do a separate video with plans, so I'll see you in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.